and for those reasons, they did not have the jurisdiction to hear today's appeal. We have raised issues, and the Madam Chair has informed us that she has raised those issues with the Ministry for ICT. Unfortunately, the Ministry of ICT has not gotten back to them, and as we sit, the country is ill-equipped, and the tribunals for communication is not functional. Thank you. Sorry. Oh, my name is Festus Onyango. I'm an advocate of the High Court. Thank you.
Purposes. When we appeared before the tribunal today, the communications tribunal today, we were ready to proceed and prosecute our application. Indicated that they needed more time, having been instructed of the application and appeal today, this morning. Then we were cut short by Madam Chair, who informed us that due to the fact that they do not have the quorum as stipulated by the law to sit, they therefore lack capacity. And the information we got is because one of the members had indicated they will not participate in the proceedings, nor are they available to participate in the proceedings. However, according to us and in our view, that was not a substantial or a substantive and reasonable reason given or put forth by the tribunal itself as to why one of the members who is receiving pay is not sitting. We were only informed that they are not available to sit, but there was no substantial reason brought forth to substantiate why his absence is such a loud gap that would constitute the tribunal not to properly discharge the mandated duty they have. Over and above that, before I yield the floor to my seniors, we noted with concern that when we asked for information from the tribunal with respect to how long this particular member of the tribunal had not been sitting, we were not given that information, and reasons had not, sufficient reasons yet again, had not been brought forth. Why? Let us remember that we have the right to access information with accordance to the provisions as stipulated in the Constitution. Therefore, the lack of information to that respect, we do not understand whether it is in the interest of justice or in the furtherance of substantive justice. At this point in time, we cannot proceed with our application or our appeal because we must exhaust that quorum that is the tribunal. But if they are not able to sit because they are not properly constituted and they are not bringing forth reasons thereof, we are still left to wonder whether we will get justice for our client.
Well, Sawa, seated in Mombasa High Court, directed Pastor Ezekiel through his counsels, the ones that are led by Mr. Dunstan Omari, to approach the Communication and Multimedia Tribunal, Appeal Tribunal in Nairobi for the purpose of urging the tribunal to suspend the directives that had been issued by Mr. Ezra Chiloba, consequently suspending the frequency that is used by the church or the ministry to spread the gospel of Christ. This is the World Evangelism TV. Now, on that very day, the 15th day of May 2023, we filed an appeal, as you are well aware, at the Kenya Communications and Multimedia Appeals Tribunal in Nairobi. And we subsequently got directions that our appeal will be heard, or will get further directions today before the 5, or at the very least the 5 members of that tribunal, and which has a maximum members of 7 members. So today, when we approached the tribunal in the hope that we will be heard today, and the World Evangelism TV, which is operated by a New Life Prayer Center and Church Ministry, we were hoping to be heard today, but regrettably, we've not been heard for the reasons that we've been told that one honorable member of the tribunal, Honorable Mr. Collins Wanderi, who sits as one of the members of that tribunal, had registered since last year, the month of November, or sometimes the month of November, that he will not be offering his services, or rather will not be presiding over the affairs of the tribunal. And for that reason, since the member of the tribunal are 5 in number, which forms the least number of individuals who should compose or comprise that tribunal, then that tribunal having 4 members is least equipped to listen or to entertain any complaint or any appeal that is filed before it. So for those reasons, the Honorable Chair has directed us, one, to be patient with the tribunal and to await for a period of time which has not been made clear to us, to wait for the Ministry of ICT to appoint another member who is going to take the place of Honorable Collins Wanderi as a member, so that we can have the minimum quorum, which is 5, and the maximum quorum probably, which is 7. So for that reason, we have been unable to proceed, and we are left with only 2 recourses. One is to be patient and wait for a time that the Ministry of ICT will appoint another member to replace Honorable Wanderi. And we do not know for how long that is going to happen. And for the reasons that the issue that we are raising before the tribunal is urgent, one that requires the immediate attention because it revolves around the spread of ministry, a question about the enjoyment of the freedom of worship, freedom of religion, as is decreed under Article 32 of the Constitution. For those reasons, and knowing too well that we have a duty to expeditiously have some of these issues determined expeditiously, because justice delayed is justice denied, we have retreated and resolved that we are going to approach the High Court yet again and seek an exemption in law, so that the court, knowing too well that there is nothing that the tribunal, the appeals tribunal, can do in the meantime, the court should assume jurisdiction or authority to entertain and hear our complaint and establish as a matter of fact and law whether Mr. Ezra Chiloba was correct when he suspended the frequency that is used by New Life Prayer Center and Church. This is in the name and style of World Evangelism TV. So if the court is to establish as a matter of urgency that indeed Mr. Ezra Chiloba's directives or orders were unconstitutional, were illegal, then our hope is that the frequency of World Evangelism TV will be restored, will be reinstated, and Pastor Ezekiel Odero will have his tool, this modern day tool of spreading ministry, available to him, so that he can spread the ministry and continue recruiting and converting some souls for Christ. I think that should be all from me for now. I'm going to yield the floor to my senior, Mr. Dunstan Omari. Thank you.
The church was closed illegally. We fought it, the church was opened. Pastor was incarcerated illegally. We fought, he was released. The bank accounts were frozen illegally. We fought, they were opened. The TV station, which is the last battlefront, was illegally closed. We appeared today before the tribunal. Mysteriously, there is no quorum, either by design or by default. The church television shall continue being closed, and as I said, this is a very clear pattern of the persecution of Christianity by the state. The state is the one that is supposed to appoint members of the tribunal. Intentionally, the state has failed or has instructed them not to form the quorum today. That does not stop us from moving further, because this is a cause of a clear manifestation of the persecution of the Christianity. We shall be moving to court, to the High Court tomorrow, bring to the attention of the High Court the happenings in the tribunal, and seek for recourse for the 5 million Christian followers of Pastor Ezekiel. 2, we shall be moving immediately today and bring to the attention of the Chief Justice, because all tribunals fall under the supervision of the Chief Justice, the judiciary. Third, we shall be calling upon members of the Fourth Estate to put their lenses on the types of injustices that are undergoing under the tribunals in this country. Many of the citizens are not getting justice because you are told a chairman is not there. The minister will appoint according to his wishes. It's regrettable that that tribunal has not been having one member for the last 1 year. Yet those ones who are there are earning salary. What are they earning for if they are not sitting? What is the minister for ICT, one Ezra Owalo? What is he doing in regard to the appointment and the gazettement of members of that tribunal? So we will also be moving to the High Court to challenge the minister to get an order for mandamus to compel him to do what the law allows him to do or mandates him to do. Because you can imagine, for the next probably 30 years, the tribunal might not be constituted. What injustice will 5 million Christian followers be exposed to? This is our country, and this is how the rotten society, the rotten arm of the tribunal is now exposing Christianity to ridicule. But we shall move with speed to deal with an anomaly that is there. Lastly, Pastor Ezekiel will still be determined and is determined to ensure that justice is done and he's allowed to run the TV station. Not even the public commercial television stations have been closed with any reason, but because it is a TV station run by a Christian, run for the faith of Christianity, it must be closed. So we are looking at probably that tribunal being reconstituted in 2030. That's all.
Umeenda kuona ujoko.
Nisahau. Nimestopia wapi?